Awesome. I'm here with Dr. Lori McDowell. I don't know what it means that God has put so many doctors into my program lately. I don't know if it means if I really need help or, I had a few years ago, God put all these relationship experts in my program. And then right after that, I met Betsy. And then put all these health people in, and I took my journey, and now all these doctors, although they're in very different things, so maybe I'm going to be a doctor. So Lori's a best-selling, award-winning author, international speaker, life and mindset coach, blends her 30 years experience in corporate leadership and event planning with her coaching practice to help visionary coaches create transformational, soul-aligned retreats without burnout or overwhelm. Through her done-for-you retreats, she handles everything from concept to execution, so coaches can elevate their brand, deepen client impact, and deliver powerful, profitable experiences that align with their mission and expand what's possible. So, to make everyone at home listening jealous, where are we going in November, December?
We are going to Utila. And Utila, which most people probably don't know, is a small island off the coast.
How do you spell it?
Utila.
Small island off the coast?
It's a small island off the coast of Honduras. It's close to Roatan, which is what people have heard of probably. But Utila I like it better than Roatan because it's not as commercial. That's it.
Team, if you guys can actually put a clip of that or a zoom of that, like a map shot in the pod, that would be awesome. And if not, just Google it. It's, what is that, South America or Central America?
Central America.
Central America. It's like dead Central America.
Yeah.
So you like it more, why?
It's not as commercial as Utila. You don't get...
Wait, this is Utila.
Or it's not as commercial as like Roatan or a lot of the Caribbean. You don't get all the people selling you stuff on the beach.
Oh.
It's laid back. It's very friendly. Very little crime. Very safe. And they just have... You can pretty much in a week you can explore the whole island. It's small enough that you can hit every beach there. You can hike to the top of the mountain.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, what inspired Utila? I know what I saw, but I want to hear what inspired you.
I've been there twice before. Whale sharks. Utila is known for whale sharks.
That's it.
It's the whale shark capital of the world. You have a better chance of seeing a whale shark in Utila than anywhere else. They have a whale shark research center. And I've been there twice and have not seen a whale shark. But I have done one of the most amazing scuba dives ever. We did a night dive in Utila, and we actually saw coral spawn. Which, if you've ever seen coral,
releasing the...
yeah, normally coral looks like a rock, but we were there, and the coral, it was a full moon in August, I think, and coral spawns apparently on that time, and we're diving, and suddenly the coral starts opening up and sends thousands of these things into the air, and then all the fish come to eat all this stuff, and it's like it was like being in an alien world. Oh,
that's it. I went night diving in Maui, and it reminds me of that song "Walking on the Moon" by the Police. Because it's dark, it's black except where your spotlight goes, and it's just, it's magic. So are we gonna night dive?
We can add one in if we want.
So part of the reason I signed up for this trip is from my original bucket list, I created as a younger man, 3 things I haven't done yet. President of the United States. I don't know if that was really on there. I don't know if I actually really believed it, but it was always on my heart to do it.
There's that rock band. Maybe you can play with them once and get that done.
So president, go in space and dive with a whale shark. And I want to dive with a whale shark. So we're doing this. So so what I'm doing with Lori is we offered this to my highest level people, and it's going to be a vacation, just a getaway. We might do some breakthroughs and work. We'll probably do some mastermind. I want to talk to you about that, doing some masterminding. And then when we're there, just really having a vacation and bonding and just getting some time off. I am so stoked. And actually, I am horrible at planning and committing to vacations and knowing I have what I was just saying to Betsy at lunch today. I want to put our money down today, so it's like locked in. So let's get that done.
Okay.
So what I want to talk about is, this show is designed to help people get their people to the promised land, and so we talk about how to magnetize people in, how to be the right mentor, and how to set up the right methodology. So how does what you're doing help and impact coaches to do any of those 3 above: magnetize, methodology, or mentorship?
Right. Well, what better way to magnetize your clients than to spend a week with them or 3 days with them in a place where you're their focus, they're your focus, and you're all together as a community doing amazing things, whether it be vacation things or masterminding or coaching. So that helps with the magnetize, and you give them something that's uniquely you. So if you plan a retreat, it's based on your vision and your idea and what you want to offer your clients. So that's something no one else can offer. So suddenly you're not just any other coach, you're the coach that offers this. I mean, I'm the only coach I know of in the world that offers retreats that incorporate scuba diving and whale sharks. Someone might, but I don't know of anyone. So, that's uniquely me.
Yeah.
So that's the magnetize and momentum.
So it's magnetize, methodology, and mentorship. And here's what I see too on the magnetize thing. When you put on a retreat, and especially in the seminar and speaker world, it's a very small world. Word gets out. Oh, so-and-so is doing this. So even if people don't buy, my perception is when someone offers, and we're not talking about a retreat like at a hotel, we're talking about a high-end either experience or vacation. Word gets out and it increases your positioning. And then you're talking about spending a week together. When you go and play, what's that phrase? You can learn more about someone when you play with them in 30 minutes than knowing them for 30 years. So you're going to play together for 7 years. So as a coach, you're going to have a lot to coach them on because you're going to see how they show up, how they interact, how they are. And then if you're hanging out in a beautiful place and you have a high, so we've been talking about this, right? For people watching at home, Lori and I have been noodling on this, and the trips could be used one of a couple ways. Correct me if I'm wrong, but one is just a pure vacation, fun, hang out with your people, let them bond, but you're always going to have something to sell. The other way is newer people, and this is your opportunity to sell your high ticket item. And then the third way I'll get to in a minute. So on either one of these two, just spending a week with people, the pocketbooks are going to open and they're going to want more.
Right, because they're going to see what it's like to be with you and they're going to want to be with you all the time.
Yeah, and there's conversations that happen. I remember when, was it Tony Hsieh that owned Zappos? I don't remember who it was, but when they designed their campus, they designed it so that people would accidentally interact from different parts of the company. And the idea is these interactions would cause amazing stuff to happen. And so I have found when I'm at a retreat or a vacation or something like that with other speaker friends, just the conversations that happen organically over a drink or just chilling, like magic tends to happen in those conversations.
Right, yeah. The dinners, the lunch, breakfast are more valuable even than any planned activities most of the time. It's just spending that time there being yourself.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking too, if you ever do one that's like a mastermind or like a JV type setup, you go diving with someone, you really make a connection. And to talk about getting on each other's stage after you were dive buddies is so much easier. And you know what I just remembered? I went to a retreat in, what's the other side of Haiti? Dominican Republic. And we had to come up with a business idea and we made a thing called social media scuba. And, and we had to do a whole thing and a pitch deck and all that stuff. And the idea was you wouldn't proceed in the training until you got a thumbs up from your dive buddy. And you'd like be looking out for each other. Totally non sequitur. But anyway, I love what you're creating. I think it lends itself in so many ways that win. And then the third thing I said I'd come back to is, I think, are you planning to use this where people can put it into their highest level package as a bonus?
That's definitely something I'm considering, whether it be my event. I mean, I plan on hosting my own events because I know what I love and what my vision is. So I'm going to host my events and invite people to my events, whether they're coming just to hang out with me and learn something, or whether they're coming to see what's possible. But it's also something that we can I can offer as a bonus to other coaches. And then we can create specific events for coaches to use as a bonus if they want to have it as a bonus for their best customers as opposed to something they use to get new ones.
That's what I could see doing both. And for a newer coach who wants to sell their premium thing for the first time, tying it into a trip like this would be an easy way to do it. And I'm not saying this is their premium. I'm saying sell the whatever retreat, and then at the whatever retreat they offer their premium.
High ticket offer, your 2-year program, or whatever it is you're selling.
Yeah. Plus, we just had 2 weeks ago, and you staffed it. We had 24 people fly here from all over the U.S. And one, that's a barrier to entry. They had to buy a ticket for roughly $500. They had to spend the time and energy to fly here. So it was a very qualified crowd. And with the small crowd, we really did great sales, great percentage of the room, great dollar per head and all that. And so I've got to believe at these retreats, people are ponying up the time and money, and you know everyone that's there has a passport, right? If it's an international retreat. Do you do domestic ones too?
I do, yeah. I did one in Galveston, Texas a couple weeks ago, and I'm doing one in Texas again for a newer coach coming up in October, November timeframe. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long out does a coach need to start working with you?
for a domestic retreat, I would say 2 to 3 months minimum. If it's international, probably about 6 months just to get all the logistics right. But it could be done faster if that's a requirement. So
What excites you the most about doing this?
I love to travel. I love exploring new places. I love adventure. So for me to help people plan these things, and I'm a planner. You know, I'm an engineer by degree, and whereas some people are not thrilled by planning a menu and finding a location and picking hotels. I mean, when I go on vacation, the planning is almost as much fun as the going. So for me,
Have you met my wife, Betsy? You guys should noodle. I asked Betsy, do you want me to give you a present or surprise you? And she's like, tell me what it's going to be. Like, what?
really.
You guys like to plan.
Well, a lot of people don't. So if you're not one of these planners or you're not sure what to do, I can help you do that and make it, you know, I love taking someone's idea and taking someone's vision and just creating it into an extraordinary experience.
Okay, I have a question, kind of a right turn in the conversation. You told me before you're really good at sales. How are you a planner and good at sales?
I'm very multi-talented. I don't know. We had dinner last night, and most people said they appreciated that I'm balanced. I have this, you know, logical, intelligent side, and I also have the other side, the fun, the open, the wild side. So I'm a balance. So I guess that's the engineer with me and the other side. But I did sales for the last 20 years of my career, and I was always one of the top salespeople.
You know what I bet it is? Because really good sales is following systems and processes and having
is.
your stuff organized,
And
not just being a closer.
Right. And you like people. I've always, when I started as a chemical engineer, I was in R&D, and while I could do it, my favorite part was the interaction with the people and giving the presentations and working with the sales team. So I just moved into that. So I like seeing what people need and help meeting their needs. So I
Chemical engineer, now leading retreats around the world.
Right. Well, I did do that in my career. I mean, I planned retreats for our clients. I planned events. I mean, I did Mardi Gras events like 5 years in a row where we planned the whole thing where our clients could come to Mardi Gras and we'd go to parades and dinners. And I planned everything from 300-person charity events to retreats for the Women's Energy Network. So
That's awesome. So how big does a coach need to be to start working with you?
really not that big. I mean, you want to have a little bit of an audience, or at least a way that people know about you. But a retreat could be 6 people, and 5 or 6 people could be a really valuable retreat, because 5 or 6 people could end up being 5 or 6 clients. So even coaches who are just starting out and think that might be a good way to get out there. Probably the ideal client is someone making, from a revenue perspective, in the $70,000 to $150,000, and they're trying to get to that next level.
That's awesome. I think if I was you, I wouldn't say 250,000, because that, we're way above that.
Right.
But I think we're an ideal client for you.
Right, you are an ideal client. Yeah, I guess 70,000 up.
Actually, what might be a good thing for you to start to put together? For 70 to 150,000, the goal is a 6-person retreat, or 6 to 12, and then for whatever
it's bigger,
leveraged out. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, really, if you're just starting out, you might do a retreat in an Airbnb, in a cool city that's near your home. If you're already a big company with a big following, you might do a retreat in Bali or a retreat in Australia. So there's lots of options.
That's all. Yeah, and we're recording this in Boise, Idaho. You guys came in town for a training, and we had all of our people come in a couple of days early, and it wasn't a retreat. but it could have been we just masterminded for a couple days at the Airbnb. And you guys, if you're a new coach, one of the easiest ways to do your first live event or any live event is to just get a small group and coach the people one at a time, or do mastermind where everybody shares a seed, like a gift to the group, an idea. They share the need they have, and then everybody gets input, and then they promise their deed, what they're going to do going home. That's an easy way to do it. Anyone can start like that.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're in Boise, and I've been in Boise. I think this is my third time in the last couple months, and I was just walking around during our lunch break, and it occurred to me, like, would be a really cool place to host a retreat. Rent one of those places right on the river, and I just walked to little farmers markets. So there's really fun things you can do to hold a retreat here.
I agree. If you want to change the world, you go to Boise, Idaho for speaker training. Lori, Dr. Lori, how can people get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is I have a site. It's yourextraordinarylife.com. And that has, it will be my website eventually. Right now it's just a link site, but it's got information, all my information, how to connect with me.
Cool. So
yourextraordinarylife.net. I said .com, but it's .net.
We'll put it in the show notes. We'll make sure it's right. We'll put it in the show. Lori, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This was awesome. So I'm here with Tatiana.
Hi, Jase.
Hey, let me read your official bio into this. So Tatiana Bowers is a business relationship strategist and licensed marriage and family therapist who empowers business owners and individuals to overcome the people drama and emotional roadblocks holding them back. Can you get rid of all the people drama?
Unfortunately, we're all human beings.
Can you get rid of some?
Yes, I can do that. Definitely.
As the founder of Authentic Success and Embrace Hope Counseling, she blends leadership strategy with her special God-given talent of deep human insight, allowing her to uncover the unseen patterns, blind spots, and emotional dynamics that most people miss. Her clients often say, "I've never seen it that way before," and that one shift becomes a spark that transforms their relationships, teams, and lives. Tatiana lives on the road in her motorhome Tiffy with her dog Twizzy, helping others create freedom, purpose, connection from the inside out. So Tatiana's been coaching me for a while, and I see you all the time on the Zoom in your mobile home. How did that start? How did you, not just the life event that led to it, but what made you actually say, I'm going to do this? Because I hear a lot of people that talked about it the last few years. You're actually doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years. I had always dreamed about it before my divorce, thinking that when he retired, we would travel around. And after the divorce was final and everything else, I had been traveling for about a year and a half all over the place. I'd be spending like 3 weeks, 6 weeks in different places. But I would have to bring my dog, and then I'd have to stay at somebody else's house and all that kind of stuff, and also do counseling at night in their home. So it got a little bit not so comfortable.
Yeah.
And I really like my own place. You know, everybody loves to be home. You know, we love to travel, but we love being home. So I went and started looking at RVs, didn't know which one I was going to pick, didn't know anything about it, never done any of this before at all in my life. So
had you ever even slept in an RV?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You just got this idea.
Yes.
I'm going to go. Really?
Yes. So I went all over San Diego, which is where I was living at the time, and tried out ones. Then I got on Facebook, and I sort of asked for help. I said Facebook, some RV Facebook groups, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what kind of RV to get. I don't know what to do. Can somebody help me? And this really awesome, wonderful person named Ray answered the message, and she and her husband have been my mentors ever since. And they have...
You have an RV mentor?
Yes, I do. Yes. Aww. They've been awesome. We met in LA because they were north of LA and I was south of LA, and we had lunch, and then we tried out, somebody had an RV for sale, and they said, we can try it out, and I even drove it around the block. They really believed in Tiffin RVs. They're Class A, well, they have more other ones now, but they're normally a Class A motorhome. And
what does that mean?
Class A is the bus.
Okay, a bus. Okay.
So I drive really high.
So you have a bus?
Yeah.
I thought you had the shorter van.
No.
You have the full bus
I have a
one.
35-foot.
I didn't know you had. I thought you had the one that the front of it looks like
No.
maybe a van, and then
Yeah.
it's got the camper shell.
No.
Oh, you got a full. Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I have a living room, I have a dining room, I have a kitchen, a bathroom, and my own
What's
bedroom.
a Tiffin? What's the model? I want to pull it up on the spot.
It's a 33 AA 2013.
That's awesome. So, what had you actually though pull the trigger and do it?
I was living in a bungalow on somebody's property that was 564 square feet. I'd moved out of my 2,500 square foot house and moved into this bungalow after the divorce and lived in it for 2 years. And I measured it out and I go like, I could do this.
It's about the same.
Yeah, it's about the same, exactly. So I figured out I could do this, and they helped me. We figured out which one needed.
Yeah.
And I went looking on the trade, RV Trader, I think it is, something like that, and found one in Atlanta. I was in San Diego at the time, and had some people that are in Red Bay, Alabama, where Tiffins are made, come out and inspect the RV.
Really?
And then once I bought it, they came out again and took the RV to Red Bay, where all the people that have worked for Tiffin also have set up shops to repair them and everything else. And I had a whole maintenance check on it, all type of thing. I've got a concierge that helped me get it all traveled between things. And then I flew out to Huntsville, and he picked me up and drove me to Walmart to get some food, because Red Bay is a very small town. And then I met Tiffy.
Oh, you met her? Mm-hmm. What was it like?
It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is gonna be my life. It's real, it's here, and everything else, yeah.
That's so cool. I don't know if I told you, but I haven't told the podcast, back in 2013.
I know you told me, yeah.
So what happened was, so to give some training to the audience listening to, and a tip, so I had spoken at this event, I knocked it out, and I talk about this event in my preview. It's where I used the new template I created, and I got invited back 6 more years, got like 14 stages. So right around that time, I met this guy who did like a media camp, and he taught how to get on local news. And one of the things he said was local news loves local events. Mm-hmm. And then he talked about book signings and how they love it. And then I started thinking, well, I could just go fly to all these towns, or what if I made it into a thing? Mm-hmm. And so it was just like a flash of inspiration. We came up with the USA Victory Tour. Mm-hmm. Our first kickoff date was 9/11, and our tagline was bringing America back one entrepreneur at a time. And so instead of just going out and doing a gig here and a gig there, we made it a cross-country driving speaking tour. And I had a Class A. Mm-hmm. It was, do I want to say the name? I won't say the name of the place. But if you were gonna rent an RV in Las Vegas, you'd be near a street called Sahara that had RVs. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna name their name. And they rented us the biggest hunk of junk. Like, it was 68 days, 13,000 miles, and it was awesome. And also being away, and I had 2 camera people traveling with me the entire time. At one point, we had a driver, and it was going to be so much better. Like, he was going to drive, and we could just sleep and rest, because we had to trade off driving between spots. And after speaking and then driving, and anyway, but that kind of family emergency, had to fly home. But we had an amazing time. My dog was with us. My dog began to hate the RV by the end of it. He did not want to be in the RV. But, yeah, I always say it was the greatest thing I never want to do again. I love, though, sleeping in RVs and going camping. Like Betsy and I think we're going to go camping real soon. And I'm thinking I might rent a little Sprinter van or something to go camping. And just sleeping in there with the windows down. It's just so nice in an RV. It's so there was something else I want to say, though. But, this cross-country speaking tour. So we set that up, and then that got local news attention and local spotlights, and it really made it into a thing. Right. I love the RV life. But I want to talk about you a little bit. So just to fill in people real quick, Tatiana has a background as being a psychologist, therapist. How would you put it?
Licensed marriage and family therapist.
Licensed marriage and family therapist.
Master's in psychology.
Hey, give us the 30 seconds with a master's in psychology.
Yeah.
So the 30 seconds on how you went from that to also doing business coaching.
Okay, so I had been doing my counseling practice for probably about 6 years. Had this couple that had been with me for over a year, and they had just opened up a private practice as a speech therapist, and he was really gung-ho about creating this business. She was a little bit more shy, reserved, but she was going to have to run this business because she was the speech therapist.
Yeah.
And so they asked me to come in when they had 3 more employees. It was all 5 of them together, and I Zoomed a couple of presentations, worked with her on Zoom meetings, and she then felt a lot more confident about herself. She's not a natural born leader, and she ended up loving mentoring her employees, and she asked me in again when she grew to 3 locations. We learned each location had a different personality.
Before you go in that, I got a question though. Okay. So you said that like she just asked you, were you working with them as a couple?
Yes.
So they came to you for
Couples counseling.
Yeah. And so she says, we work with my business.
Well, I have a certain way of doing couples counseling, and they really liked it, and they wanted me to do what I did in couples counseling with their business.
What do you do?
So I have the first session, I have them together, we're going over counseling, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. I get into their relationship a little bit, and I have them leave with 4 different assessments: personality profiles, love languages,
Smart.
attachment style, and 5 apology languages.
You do attachment style?
Yes,
I'm hearing more and more and more about that lately.
Yes, it's awesome.
Okay.
So I do those 4 assessments with them. I send it to them. And then I have individual sessions with them, each of them. I go through their histories, and then I go into their concerns about their relationship. So I get to really know who they are as individuals, and then also as a couple. And then we go over the assessments, and that's really fun. When I start identifying their personalities, they go like, you really understand
That's
this.
smart. So part of my goal for this podcast is, well, not part of, my goal is to empower coaches to get their people to the promised land.
Right.
And our 3 M's are: how do you magnetize, how do you put the right methodology, and then how do you be the right mentor. And what you're talking about really hits 2 of those. Promising people to learn more about themselves. People love it. That's why so many quizzes are big online. I don't know if you remember a few years ago on Facebook, it was always like, find out what kind of farmer you are, or find out whatever dog you are, whatever it is. Right now on TikTok, they have one where it'll take your picture and then play the song that's supposed to match you.
Right.
And that's going crazy. And so that's really huge. Finding that out is really huge. And then for methodology, that gives you a lot of equipment to actually help the people.
Yeah, I get to be able to tell them, because of their personalities, the leader personality may really come across really strongly to a peacemaker personality, and the peacemaker personality will take it personally, and it's not personal at all. It's their personality, and I see where their strengths are as a couple, and I have them do 4 actually. I have them do 1 for themselves and 1 for each other. So I get 4 of them. So I get to see
4?
Yeah, 1 for the one spouse, 1 for the other spouse, and then they do each other. So you would do yourself, and you would do 1 for Betsy, how you see Betsy.
Oh, then Betsy, you do 1 for her and how she sees me. Okay.
Yes. So we would be able to understand where there might be conflict even in that. So.
That's awesome. Hey, how could you put me that way?
Right. Well, they may see a lot of times they're the same, pretty much the same. And then there's sometimes that they're different because they see, like, you put yourself as a thinker, and Betsy put you low as a thinker, but higher as a leader or something else. And she sees something in you that may be your blind spot. So there's just different things we learn.
So when they asked you to come and do this for the business, were you just like, no problem? Like what?
Well, I thought about it, and then I realized I have a business degree as a bachelor's, and I studied small business management in college, yeah. And I was really interested in small businesses becoming medium-sized businesses. That's what I really studied.
Really?
And I wanted to be possibly a business consultant back then.
In college then?
Mm-hmm.
What got you interested in that?
I was a biology major. I got accepted to chiropractic school. Then I got engaged to a Navy guy. We had to move someplace else, and I couldn't go to school. And I decided to do business because if I wanted to be a chiropractor, I'd need to know how to run a business.
Yeah.
And he had 5 years commitment, so I could go back and go to carpentry school, but I didn't do that.
Got it. So, the usual.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start to train them, and I kind of detoured us. So what happened when you went into the offices? What'd you discover?
I actually did it all through Zoom. I did an intro Zoom call with them, talking about the personality profiles, talking about why we're doing it, what would be accomplished. And then we had another Zoom call when they had already filled out I had it all spreadsheet out, and I went through each of the personalities, and then I went and told them their personalities, and then compared it to the other people in the company and how they can work together best, and how they can use their God-given personalities, skills, and talents best way possible.
That's awesome. How do you get the employees to go along with doing this? Are they usually like, okay, yeah, because it's going to make life better for me?
When it was a team of 5, it was no problem. In fact, a lot of them wanted the personality profiles to bring back to their spouses, to do their spouses.
Yeah.
When I did it with 24 employees, 2 weren't totally bought into it, but the rest were gung-ho about it.
So it makes it,
Yeah.
most people. I could imagine that. So, one of the things we talk about, I was talking about the, magnetizing and mentorship and methodology. What I'm hearing in this, and you didn't say it, but have you ever thought about coaching coaches on how to be better coaches?
I hadn't thought about it.
I imagine even just name those 4: attachment.
I did personality profiles, 5 love languages, attachment style, and 5 apology languages.
I'm not familiar with the 4th one. What's that?
The 5, it's from Gary Chapman, the same person who did 5 love languages. It's how do you need to be apologized to really have it be resolved.
Ooh, well, that's brilliant. Oh my gosh, I need to get into that. So,
it was really interesting with one couple I did. He needed her to take responsibility for her choice. And she had always said, I'm sorry, and when she heard that, it was like, wow, light bulbs came on, and she goes like, oh, that's what he needs to hear, an apology, that I made a choice that was harmful to him, and I need to take responsibility for it. And then he could let go of it.
Otherwise it just lingers.
Yeah.
I would imagine giving those, it's a thought for you, I would imagine those 4 personality types, and I'm always looking for these angles, how can coaches be better and sell more? That's going to help them be a way better coach, because now they'll know their clients better between the personality and love languages. They give them better gifts. They can make them feel.
They validate them and fill them up and make their spouse or their clients feel seen, heard, and understood.
Yes. And then the attachment, I'm not sure, I don't know much about that one. The apologies, though, if they screw up, or I also imagine if they're coaching someone through forgiveness or leaving the past, they could weave that in somehow.
Exactly.
Even if the person who did something, the umbrage to the client, isn't there. The attachment, how does that really fit in with business, the attachment stuff?
Attachments fits into business really well. There's 4 major attachment styles. There's other words for them, but I tend to be very simple because with my clients, using all the words sometimes confuses them. So I really try to make it simple. So there's secure. That's a healthy attachment where you are happy in a relationship and you're happy by yourself. There's no need to have that in your, those things in your life, and you are happy. And the symbol for that is the anchor. The anchor does 2 jobs. It waits on the side of the ship to be used, and it attaches to the bottom of the sea. So attaching to the bottom of the sea is like in a relationship, and being on the side of the boat is like being alone. So they do both well, and there's no conflict between that, and they feel purposeful in their life.
Yeah.
Anxious attachment style is when a person needs to be more attached to people than by themselves. They need to be they only see value in themselves when they're in a relationship, and they tend to be codependent. Okay. And the symbol for that is waves. So when the waves are calm, the relationship is going well. But when the waves are high and crashing down, angry, coming demanding towards their significant other or towards their people and everything else, it becomes a conflict. And then you have the avoidant, which is when they want to be more alone than they want to be in a relationship. So the symbol for that is an island. When they go, they have a rowboat that they row to the land of people. They get their people needs met, and then they row back to the island. The problem with that is all the people in their lives don't have them in their lives when they're on their island. And it feels abandoning, it feels empty. And what I find a lot of times is anxious and avoidance come together. And I call, so Susan
Wow,
Johnson.
that's a mix.
Yeah. So Susan,
You have one that's glomming
Right.
and one that's trying to get
Yes,
away.
exactly. So Susan Johnson, who wrote a book about this, says it's the protest polka. I don't understand that analogy, so I've called it the rubber band theory. So the avoidant pulls away, and the anxious snaps back towards him.
Yeah.
The avoidant pulls away, and the anxious snap. So neither of them are getting what they want, and it's becoming a big conflict.
That's interesting. And what's the fourth type? Or is
The fourth type is called disorganized, and that's when they're a mix of anxious and avoidant.
That's interesting. I could see if you're coaching people in business, knowing that would say a lot about how people take on or avoid doing sales calls. How does the avoidant ever make sales? Or they just get it in spurts, they row into town, make sales?
Well, if they like being by themselves, but if they're not having to have relationship with people. So sales calls don't necessarily mean you have to be in a relationship with people.
That makes sense.
So they can do that perfectly well.
Huh. And if they actually don't care about people, they might be better closers.
Right.
That's fascinating. Oh my gosh, we could talk about this forever. One last thing I want to ask you about. You mentioned that when you're working with people, you told a story about, you noticed that like offices, like you worked with some health offices.
Right.
That the offices had a personality?
So when my client that I did 5 for a team of 5 with one location broke up and grow so much, they had 24 employees in 3 locations. We did the personality profiles for them. And in the personality profiles that I use, we find out if they're introverted or extroverted. Extroverted is people that get energy from being around people. Introverted is where people get energy from being away from people. So one office is really very extroverted, and she was more of an extroverted person. So she really liked that group and everything else, and they did all the team things together. One was mixed between extroverted and introverted, and one was very introverted. And she was worried about this introverted team because they wouldn't come to team things, they wouldn't come to different things. But when we found out they were introverted and they were putting all their people energy into the clients instead of into the team, she was able to let go of that fear that she wasn't reaching them. She was able to reach them in a different way. And
That's interesting. How does an office become introverted or extroverted?
it's by the people that are in it. So if I know you're an introvert.
I think I'm an ambivert.
Okay, ambivert. But if you have a whole bunch of people in the office that are natural introverts, that becomes an introverted office.
And I would imagine somehow introverts tend to hire introverts. Maybe. Like, how do you get that? Or is it just a random thing that happens?
I don't know. I haven't studied that part of it. She's more of an extrovert, but she has some introverted tendencies. So it's just, who applied, when they applied, and all that kind of stuff.
I hope I don't get killed for this one. But I have seen, though, like in certain places where if the person do the hiring is overweight, really overweight, they hire other really overweight people. And I've seen other places where if the person's really fit, they hire other really fit people. I imagine there would be some kind of a, I don't know the phrase, you probably would, but like a bias towards yourself.
It could be. Yeah, that it feels familiar, it feels comfortable, it feels natural.
And then the conversations would flow.
Yes.
The quietness would flow.
Right.
This is interesting. Oh my gosh. I want to encourage you to reach out to coaches. I think you have a whole nother niche potentially.
Okay.
So if someone, who's the ideal client for you right now? Like, is it a business owner that's growing? Who is your?
It's a business owner that, the person I started with is a speech therapist. And the people that I've run across in my own life because I was a military spouse. I went to lots of different doctors and everything else, and it was good offices and bad offices. And I really wanted to work with professionals that got a degree to do something, but had to open up an office, a business to do it, but don't have any business knowledge and how people skills, never got trained in those things. So I want to be able to come in and help them to create the office that makes their patients, clients feel welcomed, feel needed, feel appreciated, and feel like they're valuable.
So if there's anyone listening who is like in a office that's growing,
Right.
or specifically medical, and they want to increase their profits,
any-
get their people working better, how do they find you? How do they get in touch with you?
My link is www.chatforsuccess.com.
Chat for, number 4?
No,
Or
just
FO?
the word FOR.
We'll put it in the show notes too. Tatiana, it was awesome to have you here. And is it okay if any coaches contact you if they're like, I want to learn more about this?
I would be happy to.
I think that, I'll finish with this thought for you. I think you have a potential real niche there, because anything, I'm constantly coaching coaches that, especially when you're new and you're beginning and you're putting together your power day, you're putting together your coaching program, offer some kind of a power day on the front end and do a ton of assessments for your people and like call it a compass call or whatever. And like, if they could take what you're doing with those 4 and run that, they're going to be a better coach. They're going to be able to serve them better. And that's a big bonus they can offer people. You might have something gold there.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining me today on To the Promised Land podcast. If you're ready to grow your impact, master your message, and become the kind of speaker people can't ignore, head on over to our website, tothepromisedlandpodcast.com. That's where the real transformation begins. The links are all in the description.